Morning everyone, my name is Mark Lawrence M. Lembrias. This is my topic, the general types of sampling. There are two types of general sampling. The first one is probability sampling and the second one is non-probability sampling. In the probability sampling, the sample is a proportion or a certain percent of the population, and such sample is selected from the population by means of some systematic way in which every element of the population has chance of being included in the sample. In the non-probability sampling, the sample is not a proportion of the population and there is no system in the selecting the sample. The selection depends upon the situation. First, accidentally sampling. Second, quota sampling, and the third one is convenience sampling. Accidental sampling. In this type of sampling, there is no system of selection but only those whom the researchers or interviewers met by chance are included in the sample. Quota sampling. In this type of sampling, specified numbers of persons of certain types are included in the sample. Suppose the reactions of the people towards a certain issue is to determine and a cross-section of the population must be involved. It might be decided that 10 doctors, 8 lawyers, 15 businessmen, 20 vendors, and 25 farmers should constitute the sample. A process of picking out people in the most convenient and fastest way to immediately get their reactions to a certain hot and controversial issue. Convenience sampling. If there is a hot and controversial issues, say the raising of the price of gasoline, the most convenient and the fastest way of reaching people is by the telephone to be able to interview them at once. So the interviewer contacts people who have telephones and asks them what their reactions are to the issues at hand. The pure random sampling. This type of sampling is one in which everyone in the population of the inquiry has an equal chance of being selected to be included in the sample. This is the lottery or raffle type of sampling. This may be used if the population has no differentiate levels, sections. Pure random sampling is also called unrestricted random sampling, which means that every individual in the population has an equal chance of being chosen to be included in the sample. Systematic sampling. This is a technique of sampling in which everyone named in a list may be selected to be included in the sample. This is used when the subject or respondents in the study are arrayed or arranged in some systematic or logical manner, such as alphabetical arrangement, residential or house arrays, geographical placement, from north to south. Stratified random sampling. Stratified random sampling is the process of selecting randomly samples from the different strata of the population used in the study. Thus, this is used when the population of the inquiry has class stratification or groupings, either horizontally or vertically. For example, the respondents to a study are college students. The common class or stratum that all of them belong to is college or college studies. The characteristics that make them different from one another are the courses they are taking, such as BEd, BSED, BSN. Purposive sampling is determining the target population, those to be involved in the study. The respondents are chosen on the basis of their knowledge of the information desired. If researchers is to be conducted on the history of a place, the old people of the place must be consulted. If methods and techniques of teachings are the subjects of an inquiry, teachers are the ones contacted. If the topic of the investigation is the productions of rice, the respondents must be rice farmers and agriculturists. However, the actual selections of respondents is done either by pure random sampling or systematic random sampling. If the population is composed of differentiated groups, stratified random sampling must be utilized. It's used when the population is so big or the geographical area of the research is so large. The general procedure is to divide the area or population into clusters or blocks, and then within the final cluster apply any of the different methods of selecting a sample. Suppose a study is to be conducted to determine the standard of instructions in a certain region of the country in the elementary school. Take for granted that there are 9 provinces in the region and the proportion of the population to be sampled is 20%. The steps are making a listing of the sample units, the primary sampling units, the secondary sampling units. Suppose province are the primary sampling units, the towns are the secondary sampling units, and the barangay as the final sampling units. These are called natural clusters. Since the sample is 20% of 9 provinces equals 1.8 or 2 provinces selected these 2 provinces by either pure random or systematic random sampling. Within each of these 2 provinces selected 20% of the towns either by pure random sampling or systematic random sampling. The advantages of the multi-stage cluster sampling is its efficiency. Its main disadvantage is reduced accuracy or representativeness on account of the fact that in every stage there is a sampling error. For more detailed and clear explanation of the multi-stage cluster sampling, that's all. Thank you.